everyone. We're going to convene our special meeting. Mr. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Farr. Here. Mr. Adam.
I am here.
Mr. Lavanino.
Here and nice suit, Mr. Allen.
Mr. Carbajal. And Ms. Wolf.
Here. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With no comment.
All right, we will now move on to public comment. If we have folks in the audience who would like to speak to the board on items that are not on the agenda, please pass in your speaker slips.
We have one request to speak under public comment. Richard Robinson.
I think he's going to speak on an item, the other person.
Richard Robinson, I think, is public comment. Then we have Jerry Crow to speak on item A2, correct? Jerry?
And Santa Maria, do we have anyone for public comment?
No, we're lacking any other human being in the room.
Oh, shame. Oh, very
I'm
good.
an old man. I depend upon my notes. So.
Okay, no problem. All right, go ahead, sir.
Ma'am, wrong notes. Bear with me here. Reminds me when I was back home, I had to be very careful about my notes. Honorable Chairwoman, members, God is not homophobic. Ma'am, sex is sacred. It's a gift of God within the bonds of matrimony. Outside the bonds of matrimony, it's no more than two dogs in an alley. If there is anything that can defend marriage, it's the rights of gay and lesbian lovers to marry. Moment by moment, the blended society is bringing freedom for those who are our original Americans. They're bringing freedom for those who are Native Americans. During the 66, women's rights are about to become a reality. Hillary is obviously the next president. But here's the point. During the sexy 60s, after Hugh Hefner published Playboy magazine and Elvis was allowed to be on the Sullivan Show, the Sexual Freedom League matriculated from the campus at Berkeley to the University of Michigan and became Students for a Democrat Society, SDS. Free love, the gay and lesbian movement, the black civil rights movement, now National Organizations for Women, brought about freedom, democracy in the United States of America. The 60s. Our country is the best because of democracy and freedom. Santa Barbara shines as a bright light. If there's anything that can defend marriage, it is the rights of gay and lesbian lovers to marry. In this sanctuary, homeless people are being given opportunity. The world is changing because you, Santa Barbara, stand as a bright, shining light. The Riviera of the United States of America
Thank you.
is
Thank
a
you for-
hope.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Allen?
Jerry Crow.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, Supervisor Adam. Today it's about economics, and my comment about you get what you count. I was looking at the minutes from the July 7th meeting, so I'll, like Mr. Robinson, read my notes. A request from ADMHH to pay Davis Guest Home, not a local vendor, $468,000 through 2017. Synergy, not a local vendor, $1.5 million through 2017 for mental health services, residential services. Jackson and Carter, not a local vendor, $750,000 for psychiatric. Flood Control District to pay CenturyLink Communication, not a local vendor, $301,000 and change. And for the Flood Control District to pay Enviroscaping, a local vendor, sum of $275,000. So on that one day, $3.2 million, only 12% stayed in the county. The rest of it went to non-local vendors. 88% versus 12%. That's a problem. Your purchasing agents are not doing a good enough job to beat the drum to incentivize local vendors to learn how to compete for these dollars and how to make the terms of their agreement beneficial. It's the policy of this board. It's written in the purchasing department's invitation for a quote. Specifically, we have a local vendor preference. We want to do that. It is your policy, but the numbers are not showing up the way we'd like to see them. It needs a better negotiator for those businessmen. So we urge each of your chiefs of staff to contact the various purchasing agents to see what they can do to beat the drum and keep that tax money here in the county, because ultimately that's what creates jobs. And jobs is what keeps us all going, because without those jobs, our economy then suffers. So I'm looking to see the statistics change. We'll be watching these. 88% as of July 7th, just that one day, versus 12. I mean, it's not even 50%, and yet the preference is to try to give them a bump of somewhere, 5%, 6%, to give them a bump so that they have a better chance of competing. And the forms are there, but the website's not very helpful, and I know that the purchasing department knows how to do it. It's just a matter of getting some incentive, and that's where your chiefs of staff can apply some incentives to start watching, because you do get what you count. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have 2 items on our administrative agenda. Is there, we will definitely be taking roll call votes anyway because of our folks being in Santa Maria. So given that, do we have any board members who would like to pull either item A1 or A2? Okay. Then, Mr. Allen, do we have a public speaker?
Yes, we have Jerry Crow on item A2. I can read that into the...
Good morning, Madam Chairman, members of the board.
Let's have it be read into the record. The item. Go ahead, Mr.
Item
Allen.
A2 is from the County Executive Office. It's to consider recommendations regarding the Refugio oil spill. This is a re-ratification of a proclamation of a local emergency.
Okay, you can come forward now. Very good.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Adam.
And Mr. Lavigny, sir.
And for all who are watching by television, wherever you are. I'm commenting on A2, which is the recommendation to certify the statement of an emergency because of the Refugio spill. I'm commenting mostly just to set the stage to be able to comment in the future on some of the definitions that we're using. The administrative staff calls this a local emergency. The top executives, not the purchasing agencies, informed the board of the emergency. The top executives applied the municipal code and did so in a rational and understandable way. The top executives brought the matter to the board's attention when it came into next session. They requested monthly monitorings of their decisions. They sought an early termination of the emergency as soon as we could. The top executives give the board a factual leg to stand on to avoid the secret application. And they relied on both the municipal code and the state law because they were consistent with one another. At a future date, we'll contrast the factual and legal justification for asking the board to ask for past or present or future actions regarding what's an emergency. I filled out the wrong form this morning. I grabbed a white form. I'm so used to grabbing the blue form that it took me a moment to realize my error, because today is the day I'm saying that y'all got it right, and I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public speakers, Mr. Allen?
No further requests to speak.
All right, then why don't we move forward with a motion on these two items? Is that how we want to do it? Is that okay? All right, do I have a
Can-
motion?
Excuse me, can we take them separately, please?
Sure.
Because I still have the same objection on A2 as before, so I thought we were
That-
thinking that you were going to take them separately.
And we will definitely do that. Thank you, Mr. Adam.
Thank you.
Mrs. Farr?
Madam Chair, I'll go ahead and move item A1 then.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Allen?
Ms. Farr? Mr. Adam?
Aye.
Mr. Lavanino?
Aye.
Mr. Carbajal is absent today, and Chair Wolf.
Yes, aye.
Passes 4-1 with Supervisor Carbajal absent.
Madam Chair, I'll go ahead and move item A2 now.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Is there further discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Ms. Farr? Mr. Adam?
No.
Mr. Lavanino?
Aye.
Mr. Carbajal is absent, and Chair Wolf.
Aye.
Motion passes with 3 ayes, with Supervisor Carbajal absent and Supervisor Adam voting no.
Okay, very good. Thank you all for attending this special meeting. And now we will adjourn this meeting to our next meeting, which is Tuesday, August 25th at the Joe Centeno Government Administration Building in Santa Maria. Thanks, everybody.